The adventures of Koholint Island begin. Join me as I play Link's Awakening, my second Zelda game ever. Thanks for watching, and enjoy. Well, everybody, welcome back to more Link's Awakening. Not Link's Slumber, Link's Awakening, where we're getting the hibiscus. We're giving it to Christine to get a letter and all that. Lots of editing happening right here because we have to go basically kind of play taxi everywhere. So you got to give this letter to this guy up in the top left-hand corner of the map, kind of near the forest. Well, just as you exit the forest there, by the Gaponga Swamp. And he's actually the guy from SimCity on the SNES, a fun fact for you. I'm so happy. What's the letter here? You may ask. Oh, look, the letter came with a photograph. It's of Princess Peach. So that's pretty cool. Cool little detail there. She's so beautiful. Oh, you're so creepy. So, yeah, it's Link's Awakening. We get a broom. Cool. But that photo was not of the person that we got it from, so that was kind of weird, but yeah, whatever. So now you gotta bring that broom to the old woman, who later in the game is in the animal village. So keep that in mind. That's where you need to go to make that happen, otherwise she's back in the town. That fish hook you need to give to a fisherman. And where do you find that fisherman? Well, I'll show you exactly where you gotta go. It's down toward that lower section on the map here. That is kind of near where this mermaid is right here. So this is a bit creepy, I guess. You know, you don't want to obviously use that on the mermaid there. That's a bit not cool. So, yeah. Now we're going to go give that to the fisherman. And not defeat those things? Yeah. No, we can't actually defeat them. Cool. So, yeah, it's more Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch. Going to be finishing up, what, the 5th? I don't even know what I'm on right now. 5th dungeon-ish, right? Yeah, that just about makes sense. 5 or 6, I don't know. One of them. It's a number. It is some number of some kind. So that's where we're off to next. But obviously, this section, I don't... Is this required? I don't know. Because I thought the boomerang was a required item for the game. But it looks like it might not be. I'm actually watching someone on the side here play Link's Awakening. And she does not have the boomerang, which is perplexing. I ended up looking up, obviously, a guide and wanted to get all the items that I could and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, why not get it? Even if you don't need it, it's still good to have. So that's what I think this whole objective is for here. Because otherwise, yeah, you're just kind of traveling around everywhere, swimming all about, doing whatever you got to do. So you head over down to this section here. And actually, you go underneath this bridge. That is how you access the fisherman, which makes no sense. Oh, it does make sense, kind of, because he's underneath the bridge here. But it's kind of like a weird scaling sort of a thing. Yeah, so I don't know how you would find that otherwise if you were in the habit of not reading things like signs and whatnot on the map. But that's a big one there. It's a necklace. Wow, that's totally not a big fish. But all right. And you never have to go back here ever again. So even though that guy doesn't appear on the actual map, which doesn't make any sense, but hey, you know, you got what you needed from him, and that's it. And then when you yawn, you got to keep drinking this, right? Well, not really. Oh, that doesn't have as... It's not as cold. It's barely even... Like, is that cold? Hold on. It's like almost room temperature. That's kind of nasty. That's actually kind of gross. You know, I don't drink hot coffee. I'm not crazy like that. I'm not a... I can't do that. It's got to be iced coffee. And then you may say, Brian. Well, now we're traveling through here. So we're basically going the same way that we did for... yeah. So you see, like, the bridges up there where we were just under? Yeah. So you do that way. Put the scale inside of the mermaid statue, and that's how you do that. What happens during the winter time? Are you going to still get iced coffee, or are you going to switch to something else? Well, as a true New Englander, I will stick with the iced coffee as my form of coffee, and for some reason, I die right there, which I'm very perplexed by, which that has never happened in the game before. Doesn't happen after the fact. It actually pertains to the item that we are going to unlock right now, and these are like hidden enemies on screen, so, and they're like not visible, so Go figure. You need the magnifying glass. Now, the magnifying glass, actually, so that whole side quest is necessary to bring things from point A to point B and all that. It is necessary. And it's necessary because of what happens with the final boss. But we're going to get to that, obviously, eventually here. There are never, ever any hidden enemies that I have seen throughout the rest of the game here. So I don't know why, you know, for this section here, they wanted to make you accustomed to, like, hidden stuff. But, yeah. So now we're at the shore here. And that is a secret little area here where you basically need to barter with a definitely not Pluto. What's his name? Brute, not Pluto. Oh, the guy that looks like him from Mickey Mouse. Bruto? What's his name? I don't know what his name is. He's got, like, I'm going to look it up right now. But you basically, what you need to do, you swap an item with him. Now, all the items that you have on you that you get throughout the game are permanent items. You don't get rid of them. Except the shovel. That is the one that you buy. So you can either trade the shovel or you can trade the, what's it called? The bow and arrow, probably. So you obviously can't switch any of this stuff over on the left side there. So, yeah, you got to do that. It takes me a second to realize that. And I think I end up looking it up right here. So, in the meantime, I'm going to actually look up what the guy's name is. From, no, not emojis. I don't want to look up emojis. What's the thing there? Bruto? No, there's a boomerang there. No, Bruto is a crow. I don't want to look up a crow. Big, dog from Disney. Evil. Will they know what I'm talking about? Yes, they will. Pete. Pete. P-E-T-E, Pete. Stinky Pete, that's his name. He looks like Pete from Disney. So there you go. So now, the boomerang helps with this section up here, which is one of my favorite areas in the game, which I did not solve this area easily. What I needed to do was, you know, boomerang obviously required. Not required. It's not. But, like, it makes everything that much easier. Mr. Hood here. First head south, and then you do the thing. So, it's a little mini desert, which I'm still kind of thrown off by the scale of everything here, because a desert/ruins-like area should be a lot smaller, but I end up going, like, backwards for a half second here, so I just edited to where I needed to be, obviously. So, yeah, the ruins here. There's all sorts of statues and whatnot that are going to move as soon as you get close to them, kind of like... I was going to say like a Weeping Angel from Doctor Who, but that's not how that works, and I have never watched Doctor Who, so how would I know that? But, well, I know that from the LEGO Dimensions, basically the pack, playing through the levels there. So, yeah, I don't realize that quite yet, but yes, that's what the boomerang is for. It also allows you to stun enemies similar to the hook shot, except, yeah, now the boomerang actually damages enemies in a lot of cases. The hook shot does not. The hook shot, I think, just disables an enemy. It doesn't actually stun them or anything, which is kind of weird. Why would one do that and not the other, sort of a deal, you know? But, yeah. And, yeah, don't even bother using magic, but there you go. 1, 2. So, and here's also another thing. I want to tell you about this boss here coming up in just a few minutes here. He can be... I could not figure out for the life of me how to defeat this midway boss. And some people said use the bow and arrow that we eventually get. And I'll actually show you how to get the bow and arrow. We end up going back for it because I didn't want to pay the price for it. It's very expensive. And you do need rupees for other things in the game. So with the help of the boomerang, it works. It's a cool little just ruins area, you know. I, for some reason, begin to leave because I'm thinking there's some secret, something that is around here. Clearly there is not, but, you know, the cat got me curious, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so there's that other section there. So now it actually shows us where we need to go, so that's good. But yeah, the scale kind of throws me off on this game because it looks like this should be a much bigger area, but it's really not. It's its own little condensed thing. And it's not very confusing, which I guess is why I like it, you know, compared to a lot of other areas in the game. It's not a open-ended area. It's a place that it's contained. You know what you're getting into. You know that there is a solution here. You're not doing anything wrong. But yeah, I didn't realize that one actually moved. So once I figured that out, yeah, fairly easy there. So yeah, you can kind of bring stuff toward you with that. I'm sure there's probably some secret hidden thing around here, a you know, destructible wall or something. We don't end up finding that, but and you can't damage them before you go with the like going close to them there. So here's the thing: we end up needing to get the bow and arrow. So the bow and arrow, as a guy told me, was a way to go. I don't get it here. You got to go back to the store over here. There is a way, and I don't condone this in real life, of course. In the game, there is a way for you to steal the bow and arrow, any item you want from this shop right here. Now you can see the shopkeeper is moving. He's jotting to follow you there. If you try to walk out with it, hey, you stop, you got to put that back. There is a way to finagle him, to trick him right there. Bam, you just walk out of it right there. And you may say, Brian, why would you steal that? It was 980 rupees. Guess what? Are you proud of yourself? You stole it. So now you try to go back inside of there, right? Because now you get the bow and arrow. No problem. Nothing will happen. Save the game here just to make sure nothing crazy happens, right? Now, you try to go back inside of there, and Mr. Shopkeeper here is fully aware of what you just did. I wasn't kidding when I said, hey, now you'll pay the ultimate price. The price of your life behind door number 2 on the Price is Right. And you, no matter how many hearts you have, you will die. Now, if you are trying to go on a flawless run of this game, not getting any deaths whatsoever, this will not count as a death, because I guess a lot of you out there might care about doing a flawless run here. Now, the funny thing is, now, whenever you are talking to someone, they will refer to you as Thief instead of whatever name you put in your save file. There is nothing you can do to change that. So that's a very cool little touch there. And now, I don't condone stealing in real life, obviously. Am I setting a bad example by doing it in a video game? So, what... Listen. Whatever, alright? Your boy Bricks O'Brien recommending, don't steal, kids, alright? So what you do, for this boss here, you have to spin your sword and damage him that way. You don't need the bow and arrow. You don't need any of that stuff. It's just a couple of shots here, and he's done. And as long as you can just avoid all that, then, yeah, you're good. Let's see, and no, okay, cool. If you end up being on the ground while he's jumping like that, then, yeah, you will be damaged, or rather, it'll stun you, in which he'll walk into you, and then you will be damaged. So, yeah, don't let that happen. Swipe up, and nope, okay, and am I going to die here? I don't think I'm going to die. I ain't going to die tonight. No, I'm not. There we go. Now, he is defeated. That took me a lot longer than I'm showing on video, trust me. I even looking up the guide, like, there was no definitive one-way answer for that solution there. So there was a bunch of ways you can do it. You can use a boomerang, the arrow, the whatever. So yeah, like this all up right here, and you can see the mystery of the windfish is starting to unfold. To the finder of Koholint Island, human monster, sea sky, a sea, awake dreamer, and Koholint will vanish much like a bubble on a needle. Cast away, you should know the truth. What illusion? So you're starting to piece things together. And it doesn't take a dummy to realize what it's inferring is that this is like a dream sequence sort of a deal here. That's basically what this game is you are trapped within inside the dreams of the windfish. What the windfish is, you'll have to find out and stick around if you want to, kids. While it does say the island is but a dream, you cannot know if the chest holds the treasure until you open it. The only one who knows for sure is the windfish. Trust your feelings. And someday you will find out the whole thing. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, you know it's a dream now. It is very apparent that it's a dream as we exit the desert. The desert here. Now we're gonna make our way into the actual dungeon and get out of here. So basically, you are defeating what seems to be a dream sequence. Is it of the windfish? Is it of you? Is it of Zelda? Of Marin? Of whatever? You'll have to find out. It's not as compelling as a story as you might think. Trust me, I would tell you if it was. Basically, I missed a secret entrance over there, which I might go back for. I don't remember. But, yeah, so there you go. That's the whole deal there. So, basically, all these bosses this whole time are like, you keep ruining our nightmares, our dreams, or blah, 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 whatever. So, yeah, they're kind of ticked off about that. But, you know, that's going to happen. How do you cross this section here? Well, Brian, where you going? Hey, man. Hey, man, where you going, man? You got to use the hook shot, baby. Use the hook shot. Yeah. There you go. No. There you go. Hold on. Wait for it. I guess I'm waiting. There we go. See, I can piece things together. That worked out just fine. Cool. So, yeah, now is when the story really picks up, but not really. We do have the key for the face shrine, which is a or face dungeon, whatever you want to call it. It's a very weird, like that looks like a face right there. It's just a very weird idea for a dungeon. You know, we've had an anglerfish, a catfish, like, why this? I don't know, but there you go. It arises out of the sand, and there it is. So it's one of the more, the dungeon's okay. It's kind of difficult. You can lose your spot kind of regularly. You need to... Wait, the face one, is that the one? Oh, this one I think you need... No, this isn't the pillar one. There's one that requires pillars coming up. That one's awful. It's really bad. So, that is by far the most taxing one of them all. Other than the final one, obviously. Do I die here? I must die here. I totally do. Yeah, absolutely. But I didn't edit here, whatever. So, these little wizard raccoon things are an enemy that you obviously gotta take care of. So, you use a boomerang to do that. So, when there's like the owl statues here, which never really get explained from what I've seen. There's also the elephant things there. The elephant, statues as well, which are used, basically they're the same thing as boulders. They're meant to be in the way, but this whole thing here is meant as a upgrade for your strength so that you can lift up those elephant statues there. Because, yeah, it looks heavier than you thought. Not with your current strength, you can't do that. So, I feel like that wasn't necessary. They could have done another upgrade of some kind instead of just upgrading your strength. That didn't really make any sense there. You're going to be visiting this room a ton, actually. And the boomerang helps for, like, this segment here. Because, like, now you can hit switches from very far away. And you could do that before, technically, with bombs, which is what somebody who I'm watching right now, she's doing that. But, like, it's easier with the boomerang because bombs are more valuable. And the boomerang has infinite regeneration there. It doesn't have a quantity on it. So now is when they give you a bunch of arrows for stuff. And luckily, the switches that are all around here are not timed or, you need to keep them held down by a vase or anything like that. So, this entire next episode is going to be the rest of this dungeon, which is actually, it's pretty complex, and there's not a lot of editing. There's not a lot of, stuff that I needed to take out. It's very, I guess I get it a lot of the time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how well it actually ends up going. There's a little bit of backtracking here, but, that is kind of par for the course, I suppose, when you're dealing with a dungeon in Zelda. They are definitely not meant to be incredibly straightforward, which is something I talked about with my LEGO buddies before about the game design. It being so different from Breath of the Wild, and instead of needing to backtrack in Breath of the Wild, you're seemingly always exploring new areas, which is great. And it's a different philosophy to game design, which I've been thinking about a bit more recently, like the way games are made since I've been playing so many of them and all that. So I don't know why I'm carrying the pot like this, because I don't need to, but okay. I could have been jumping that whole time and avoiding them, but whatever. Cool little sequence here of avoiding all these things. And yeah, you just make your way through there, and then bada bang, there you go. So, do I actually need to be here? I don't think we do. No. So this is what I'm talking about from like before. You can use the boomerang to do that. And that allows you to access through that area there. Avoid these wizard raccoons and go up toward the top here, ideally. Now, you could use the boomerang if you could reach, but right now you cannot. You cannot use a hook shot, Brian. Before, I thought you could bounce the hook shot off of multiple surfaces and like aim it a specific way, but I guess you can't. That would have been really cool, but you know, I think that's a thing in maybe in other games. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So like right here, that's your first clue. Like, oh, I need to use the elephants to lift up, and that acts as a vase to open that door over there. So yeah, there you go. Make sure that's active as blue. That's something to keep in the back of your mind there. So yeah, like right here, you can't, there's no vases in the room, so that's how you figure out, oh, I gotta use the elephants. Okay, those technically are vases. So, but they never appear anywhere else in the game, so whatever. So, for example, here, you could use, yep, the boomerang, just like that, but instead, we're going to head up toward this way, I guess, and I never actually went in that room, oddly enough, where there's the beak, in case you want that, but now we're going to continue the dungeon in the next episode. So, I want to thank you guys and girls for listening, watching, tuning in, and meowing it out with me as always. My name has been BrianSaviano, a.k.a. Bricks O'Brien. You've asked for some of these videos to be in shorter bits, that way they're more digestible, so I want to do that. But, yeah. We'll explore the dungeon and more in the next episode. Hopefully have a great day. So yeah, peace out and bye.